What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name is Greg Wave. Gonna adjust my mount real quick, no sweat. Well, I hope you guys have been doing well. It is close to Thanksgiving time for me. I'm visiting my family in Orlando, Florida. I was thinking about doing a little bit of Lyft driving, but I don't have my car here, so I was like, wait, what was I thinking? But yeah, Orlando is a poppin' area. I'd actually be curious to see if any of you guys actually drive here and what the earnings are like, because it seems pretty awesome. I gotta imagine it's a very tourist heavy place, and just gotta be fun. It's gotta be fun driving here. But the traffic, holy cow. This is some bad traffic here, no doubt. Anyways, so kind of an interesting video for you guys. I have realized that I accidentally quit Lyft and didn't realize it. And I'll explain to you guys what I mean by that. But what I want to do real quick before I talk about that is tell you guys about GetUpside. GetUpside is an incredible app for saving money on your gas. The very first time you download the app, you get 25 cents off per gallon. And then every time you refer someone, you get 1 cent off per gallon. And that slowly accrues to where you could have an awesome little network of people you referred that you're making a ton of money on, right? As far as saving money on gas. Gas is our biggest cost, so there's no reason to not consider it. Most of you guys have probably heard me talk about GetUpside already though, so I'm gonna cut it off there. Link in the description. If you don't have it, you wanna have it, you wanna save money, let's go. All right, so I'm quitting Lyft. Well, I kind of accidentally quit Lyft. So what I mean by that is the other day, I checked my earnings statements from the last probably month, and I realized that I drove a lot. I probably on average was 25 hours a week. Well, I guess that's not really a lot for a lot of people, but for where I'm at right now, that's kind of a lot. And so I realized that out of all the rides I gave, I mean, you got to think, so that's 100 hours total in a month. So let's say, I don't remember what it is, but on average I give 2 rides per hour. So I probably gave 200 rides in that month. I looked back and realized only 5 of those were Lyft, and they were in the first week. And it wasn't that I wasn't turning on Lyft. I was still using Lyft, but I was doing, I mean, if you guys run both apps, you know the drill, you turn them both on, and whatever pings first, you accept that, turn the other app off. So Uber was just always getting a ride way faster. And I didn't even realize that I was hardly driving any Lyft. But yeah, I only made $30 on Lyft. I don't even think it was that. I think it was $20 on Lyft. And I was kind of looking at it and I was like, is there even a point in even doing this anymore? Because my online time was still there was hours and hours of online time. But like I said, only 4 or 5 rides, I believe, is what it was. And so I'm actually thinking that I'm just going to be done with it, because I started thinking, I was like, I would have rather have had those 5 pointless Lyft rides just on Uber and have it building my Uber Pro points, as well as there's probably a lot of times where I could have used those 5 rides for an Uber Quest. Maybe one of them could have been part of a consecutive trip bonus, and I started thinking about it, and Lyft in general just doesn't offer anything good. Now, keep in mind, guys, I'm speaking strictly for my market. In San Francisco or other places, Lyft might still be a monster, but in my market, it's rough. I don't feel like I can even make that good of money on it. I don't even feel like I can make 15 an hour on it. So I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, I basically kind of already quit, because I think the last 2 or 3 weeks I actually didn't even give a Lyft ride. I think all of the Lyft rides were all in the first week. So I was kind of thinking about it, and I was like, this is seeming pointless. But then I started realizing that I just, in general, I have so many personal objections with Lyft. I really hated when they got rid of primetime, because primetime was one of the only reasons I still liked Lyft when it was going. Because for me, I loved if you got a 200+% prime time and you happen to get a 30-minute plus ride, I mean, you would make so much money, And like, I remember I used to drive in Nashville, Tennessee years ago, and I remember getting like just even like 100% primetime ride, and it went like 35 minutes away, and I feel like it was like a $70 ride. It might have been a higher primetime, so don't quote me on it. But like, those were the days, man. And so when Lyft got rid of primetime, I realized that that was like, I feel like that was the beginning of Lyft as a company kind of starting to go downhill. And it's funny because I actually always respected Lyft way more as a company than Uber. I always thought like Lyft was like a way more honest company. They cared about the drivers way more. And now it really looks like Uber cares way more. I mean, Uber at least has the live customer support, and that's a game changer, guys. Like, I think my voice just cracked. I think it cracked in a video I did recently too. But random, sorry y'all. So like, I've had so many issues in the past where like I need to call someone, I need to talk to someone, and it's super aggravating when you get a text message from some, probably college intern that's working at Lyft's database, and they're basically just copy and pasting messages and sending them. That drives me insane. So in my eyes, Uber has such a massive one-up on Lyft right now in so many areas. So they do still have their little rinky-dink bonuses, but like, I feel like I see those bonuses once a week, and it's usually like for $2.50, and then it builds up to like maybe $4. I can get a $4 surge almost every single day of the week on Uber, and a lot of times multiple times per day. So like, I don't know. I was starting to think about it, and I just felt like I was so used to driving Lyft because it used to actually still be good, so it made sense to combine both. But I kind of feel like Lyft is just not doing that good anymore. So my other objection is, I don't know how many of you guys saw the video I did on the case study that this third-party company did, where they took a bunch of drivers' earnings and tracked like how much Uber and Lyft were actually taking. And on average, Lyft was taking 35% of our earnings. Now, Lyft called it baloney, and they said, well, you don't have enough data for that. And I'm like, well, that's fair, because it's not like they got every driver's earnings. But at the same time, I believe it was 14,000 submissions. So there was 14,000 earning submissions where they took 35%. So you're telling me, was it only on those 14,000 submissions that they took 35%? I mean, I tend to believe it was probably a lot more than that. And then I was talking to my dad's friend. He drives in Milwaukee, and I like to talk to him from time to time and hear about what his market's like. And I was telling him about it. And he brought up a good point that like, come on, we've got a pretty good setup. Like, we have no boss, we have flexibility. So let's not really make this too much bigger than it is. We still are very blessed to be able to do this. And I agree. I mean, Uber and Lyft has allowed me to do what I do full time, my passions, so I'm never not thankful for it. But I'm like, if you're saying you're taking 25% and taking 35%, we have a problem, But he did bring up a good point. He was like, and to be honest, he's like, I think it's even higher than that. He's like, if you start monitoring a lot of these rides, and he's like, and you look at what the passenger's paying versus what you made, he's like, it's simple math on a lot of these rides. He's like, I've had rides where I looked back and he's like, they were easily taking 50%. And I thought about it, and I remembered there was a time where I looked and I sent them a bunch of screenshots because I said, hey, this can't be right. Because I had like 6 different rides I'd given where they definitely took like 40+%. So I don't know what's going on, but here's what's interesting. So after that study was released, it was like maybe a month later that then Lyft removed the option on our end to see what the passenger was paying. So now they have no accountability. We have no way of knowing if we're getting paid accurately or not. I mean, I think a lot of us guys who've been driving a long time, like for me, just by the time and distance of a ride, I have a rough idea of what I should be making. So, I mean, I can kind of go based off that, but how accurate is that? And I mean, what are they going to do if I email Lyft and I say, hey, I did some rough, simple math in my head and you guys didn't pay me right? They're not going to care. They're probably not even going to email me back, or they're going to send me that generic copy and paste email where it's like, we're sorry, Gregory, but after we reviewed your driving records, our system shows that you were in fact paid correctly. And then it'll be like, here's what may have happened. you know, and it'll be some like BS thing that you know is not true, right? So it's like, that's all that's going to happen. And I'm telling you, like, what other reason would they remove for us to be able to see what the passenger pays than that? Like, it was already a part of their software. It was already integrated into their system. It was, if anything, more work to probably take it out of their system than to keep it going. I mean, I'm no tech junkie, but that seems logical to me. So yeah, guys, I'm really thinking I'm probably just going to stick with Uber now. I really think Lyft is completely phased out. I think it's just done. You know, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll do some rides from time to time, but they don't really offer bonuses. They've got no prime time. It's hard enough to get rides on it. I just see no reason to do it when we could be using those Uber Pro points, because like, you guys want to be hitting gold each month. Gold rewards is really, really worth it on Uber. So having those few extra rides that you did for Lyft for no reason that you could give to Uber is kind of a no-brainer. The only reason I would say to keep Lyft at this point is if you're in a city where there's like certain pockets where like almost everyone takes Lyft, then you might want to, you know. But for me, I think I'm done. So on that note, guys, I'm going to close out this video. Be sure to like and subscribe this video, or like this video and subscribe to the channel. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys soon.